homies? Welcome back for another Dirtbag review. So check it out. Today I got a classic from 1985, homes. We're going to kick it old school with some cool stuff from the 80s, homies. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play you a clip or two, and then I'll be right back to tell you all about this movie, all right?
How come? Two unpopular dicks like you is having a party.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I was just asking myself that very question, and unlike Dick, sometimes do the weirdest things, you know, I don't know.
How would you like all your friends here to know that you wear a bra on your head? Tossed off into any good books lately, have we? You two can't even take a shower with a beautiful woman without wearing your jeans. You! Come here! Now!
Prepare to die, Wyatt.
Gary, I can't wait to die.
We are gonna kick
Ass. Okay. This is war. Hands off the girls. Let's leave the girls out of this. Hands off. Said hands off! Now!
Why don't you shut up, bitch? And as for your ugly ass, let me tell you something. You don't come into my friend's house with your faggot friends driving your motorbikes all over his floors, breaking windows, making a mess, stinking up the place, and believe me, you do stink. And here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna let go of the girls, and you're gonna apologize to all these people. And you're gonna get on your bikes and pedal your ugly asses out of here. So now, we're gentlemen, so we're gonna give you a choice.
Yeah, you can leave in peace.
Or you can stay and die. Choice is yours. Get out of here.
So, as you can probably tell, the movie we're talking about today is Weird Science. It was directed by John Hughes, the great legendary John Hughes. May you rest in peace, homie. So anyway, this is one of his great movies from 1985. It stars Anthony Michael Hall as Gary Wallace and Ian Mitchell Smith as Wyatt Donnelly. These two guys are kind of like, the losers in high school, but they got big dreams, They want to kind of, be cool with the cool kids, they want to fit in, right? But they just, they just haven't gotten there yet, So, anyway, we'll talk about that here a little bit later, all right? Movie also stars Kelly LeBrock as Lisa. Now, these two boys, they're sitting there. They're not the most popular dudes in school. Apparently, Wyatt's a little bit of a geek, quote unquote. A little nerdy kid. He's got himself a computer, right? So he was apparently rattling on about how they can do simulations in this computer, right? So Gary convinces them to let's make a simulation of a woman in the computer. That way we can, like, you know, bounce questions off of her, you know, to try to, you know, find a way to work our way in with the ladies, right? So anyway, so they're doing all this stuff, and they accidentally, through the power of weird science, create this woman, Lisa, who happens to be extremely intelligent. She's got magical powers of internet magic stuffs, you know, before the internet, you know. So it's a pretty cool little, you know, MacGuffin, I guess you might want to say, you know. But anyway, let's continue with the characters in the movie. All right. Now, we also have Bill Paxton, the late, great Bill Paxton, may he rest in peace as well, playing Chet Donnelly, who is Wyatt Donnelly's older brother, who, you know, was in military school, is home for college, and just basically a pain in the guy's butt, you know? Not the nicest older brother, you know what I mean? But, really, at the end of the day, this movie is a coming-of-age kind of thing, you know? Like, I guess the best way for me to describe it is, you know, like, you always have these, like, tropes, you know? And this trope is, you know, like, the guys that, like, you know, get pushed around and stuff, finally standing up for themselves, taking initiative, taking, you know, life by the horns, homie, you know what I mean? So, this movie is about these two guys, you know, kind of, like, standing up to their adversity. So, anyway, let me go on with the rest of the people in the movie. So, Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie. It's one of his earlier movies. He plays Ian. He's one of the bullies of the movie. He's one of the guys that kind of like give Wyatt and Gary a hard time, along with his buddy Robert Russler, who plays Max. So these two are like, you know, the alphas in the school, you know, like the two cool cats, you know, kind of like basically the people that Gary and Wyatt look up to, you know. It's like, man, wish we could be like those guys, you know. So, and along with that are their girlfriends, Deb and Hilly. Deb is played by Susan Snyder, and Hilly is played by Judy R. Aronson. You know, and these are, you know, cute little high school girls, you know, that these two dudes are really interested in, but, you know, obviously they can't get with these chicks because they're already with Ian and Max, you know. So, there's a couple other really great people in this movie that I'll get to here a little bit once I get to that part of the story, all right? But anyway, check it out. So we start out with the two boys, you know. They're in their high school at the gym. You know, they're talking about how, like, you know, all the girls are hot and whatnot, you know. Typical high school boy stuff, right? You know, what goes through your head when you're that age, right? So while they're sitting there looking and gawking at these girls, Ian and Max come up and pants them, you know. So it gives you a full introduction of who these are, their circumstances, you know. Shows you that they're bullied, they're not popular, that, you know, they just have a hard time in school, you know. And like I already said, you know, they go and they're like, well, you know, it'd be cool to be able to, you know, have a party, you know, be popular kids, you know, and have a big party and everybody likes us, you know. So they go about creating Lisa to help them out with their current circumstances, but they end up actually creating a human, which is crazy, you know. But you know, so she, being super assertive, she's like, we're gonna go out on the town, we're gonna go party, you know, we're gonna do this, you know. So she drags these two guys out into Chicago, you know, because once again, this is a John Hughes movie, so all this stuff takes place in Sherman, Illinois, you know, the coolest town, the first cinematic universe, if you think about it. But anyway, so they're out in Chicagoland, and they show up in this, you know, this bar, you know, and they're like really out of place, and like, well, you know, I don't think we belong here, you know. It's like, we're not even 21, so she puffs into existence fake IDs for these two guys, you know, so they can drink and whatnot. And she's like, dude, it's a public place. Who cares, like, if this isn't, like, you know, typical for you guys to be here, you know, because it's mostly Latinos and black folk hanging out in this bar, you know. So it's like a blues bar kind of, you know. So anyway, as the night goes on, Gary gets super trashed. They head back home, and Lisa's trying to get busy with Wyatt, but he ends up passing out on her. So it's just how it goes. And then you get more stuff with Chet, who basically intimidates his brother because I don't want to get too into the weeds about it, but you gotta watch it. It's a pretty good scene. And then you get to learn more about Chet and how he is with his brother and, torturing him and stuff, And Lisa's like, you guys need to stand up for yourselves. You guys have to take your own initiative, So basically throughout the movie, she's kind of pushing for this stuff. And then she ends up telling, she basically says, we're throwing a party at your house. We're going to do it. So basically everybody from the high school, Sherman High, shows up. And they're all partying here in this party, And the boys are just so inept and so scared of life that they end up hiding in the bathroom the whole time, basically, So, Lisa, to get these guys to finally do something, she goes and does her clicky magic fingers and gets this biker gang to show up. Now, two really great actors are just these extras for these being this like crazy biker gang, mutants. They're like the Wastelanders from Mad Max, heavily inspired, so much so that they actually got Vernon Wells to reprise his role in The Road Warrior, which is Mad Max 2. He plays Wes all but in name, He has a mohawk again. He's got a, he's Wes. He looks all tough and crazy, being Australian. And we also have Michael Berryman as one of the motorcycle mutants, Another great actor, iconic dude, all the way from movies like The Hills Have Eyes, the original, So it's just a really cool movie because, these dudes are basically forced to confront this guy, And he's sitting there and he's just airing out their dirt about how, how they're losers, basically, how they don't have any no self-respect, they don't stand up for themselves. And these guys, he's just going on and on and on, And then finally, Gary's had enough, and he whips out a gun, points it right at the dude's face, And he's like, hey, you're going to get your people out of here, you're going to clean up, you're going to apologize for everything, you're going to roll out, So they basically squashed it right there, showed it they were the man. And, it's just the story of them coming up, The whole time, Ian and Max are scared, hiding and stuff, So finally, in the end, Debbie and Hilly decide that, these guys are actually pretty cool. So they end up hooking up, and they start seeing each other, And like I said, it's a John Hughes movie, man. Like, it's not the most non-formulaic movie if you think about it, But it's a fun watch, I forgot how much nudity was in this movie too, so it's not really for the kiddos. But definitely worth a watch again. If you haven't ever seen it, you definitely should. I'm sure a lot of you guys have, just kind of reminding you of the classics, But anyway, it's really cool. It's such a great concept that they actually had a show on television. I think it was on USA Channel Network, back in the 90s, So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review. I hope you guys enjoy this movie. Make sure you do me a solid. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends because sharing is caring. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, Y ya los guacho, firme, Holmes.